Yo, what up? Who's in here? Somebody's here. What up, Grubs? What up? We're gonna wait for obviously a few more people to get here before we get into what's going on. What up, Mikey B? Who else is in here? We're gonna wait till we got a few people in here to talk about why Enjoy's whole team quit. So you guys have seen I've been getting products and whatnot from Dwindle. It's because I talked to the number 2 dude at Dwindle about this whole situation. So I'm going to share kind of like the inside scoop, everything that he told me was going on with Enjoi, what hasn't been talked about anywhere else. And why the whole team decided to quit all at once. But before we get into it, I want to try and get the likes up to let's go for 30, because this is a really good topic and I want to get as many people in here as possible before we dive into what's going on. So in the meantime, if you guys can hit the like button, try and push out the stream to more people, but also what questions do you guys have about the whole Enjoi situation? Is there anything you guys are wondering about? Me and the guy at Dwindle, RP, we talked about this for a good long while. Local Joe, live and direct. Glad I didn't miss this one. I was just talking about this with the owner of my local skate shop. What's your local, Colton? But yeah, so we talked for a good hour and a half. Yo, Joe, I'm thinking about starting filming for YouTube. Do it, man. Time Machine, sick. Time Machine looks sick, dude. I haven't been there, but they really, I feel like, are doing a good job building the community up there. I feel like Directive is doing the same thing in Logan. Yo, I met Louie on the High Wire tour. Such a nice dude. Blessed rising to all. What up, David? Shane, best shoot ever. Evening, Joe. What up, WMS Vids? Sad I missed the giveaway yesterday, bro. That's all right. There'll be more to come in the future. So, like I said, I've been talking to this guy, RP, at Dwindle, and he's super down for the channel and everything, and so we're definitely going to do more giveaways in the future. So I heard that they weren't paying their riders. Yeah, that's part of the thing. That's part of why the whole team quit. We're going to get into that in a second, but I just want to give a second. I really think this is a good topic. And I wanted to make a full video about this. I still might. But I thought it'd be good to first talk about it just with the stream. That way it's more of a discussion. But I want as many people to be here as possible. So let's try and get the likes up to 30, and then we'll get into the topic. What car are you in? I'm in a Prius. 07 Prius. Thing's got over 300,000 miles. I'm hyped to see what Louis' project thing will be. Don't know how serious it is, but the landing page products are gold. I haven't looked at it. First things first, let's get things going, squad. Yo, thank you, Pat. Appreciate Pat with the 5, dude. That's too nice. Dwindle, Enjoi, not addressing it is doing them the most damage. Yeah, I think that's why they were willing to talk to me, though. So that I can kind of speak on it. Jacuzzi Unlimited, look it up. We'll give you a laugh. Yeah, I've heard of it. I just haven't been to their landing page. But yeah, I don't think they've done a great job kind of getting their message out there. And I think that's why they were willing to kind of talk to me, because I spoke on it. And then RP, the number 2 or 3 guy at Dwindle, he saw the live stream where we talked about, the article in Jenkem with Louis Barletta and his thoughts on quitting. And he saw that, watched the whole stream, and then from there wanted to, basically somebody else orchestrated it for us to talk, and then we got to talk for like an hour and a half about kind of the ins and outs and the behind the scenes of what all happened to lead up to the whole team quitting, and the future of Enjoi, and kind of what's all going on with Enjoi. So we're almost ready to start, guys. I want to get the likes up to 30 before we start talking about the behind the scenes. So in the meantime, hit me with any questions that you guys have about the Enjoi situation and everything going on at Dwindle. That way, as I kind of present what's going on, I can kind of address your guys' questions. Was RP part of Dwindle or part of the company that bought them? Is he still with them? You can wait for the likes to answer that. Okay. I'll just answer that. So RP is part of Highline. But I mean, it's the same thing as Dwindle. Enjoy your day. Go skate. Hell yeah. I wish I could go skate. It's like hailing and out of control weather here. So hit me with more questions about the whole Dwindle situation. Are you guys mad about it? Like, are you mad that Enjoi, the whole team quit? Like, are you guys even invested in Enjoi, or is it something that it's like not really a brand you were into in the first place? Will Enjoi boards be displayed above or below Darkstar boards at Walmart? I don't think Enjoi boards will ever make it to Walmart. Weather is garbage in Colorado today. Yeah, same thing in Utah. Hailing and snowing. Yeah, I don't think Enjoi would ever make it to Walmart. It's just, it's too core of a vibe. Like, and there's more to all that. I'm more sad for Louis. Hopefully he bounces back and his next thing is epic. Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing that I will say before we kind of get into all of this is the guy that I talked to was RP. I mean, there's no hard feelings between Louis and like Dwindle. I loved Enjoi. I love Louis. I stand with their team. No Louis, no Enjoi. Interesting. Are the almost team riders leaving like Tyson related or separate thing? Probably related, and we'll get into it. Louis will do well. He has mad love from people. Yeah, he does for sure. All right, guys, let's aim for 20 likes, and then we'll get into the topic. I don't want to drag this out. I think 30 is a bit of a stretch, but let's get it to 20 likes. Try and push out the stream to as many people as we can, and then we'll get into the topic and kind of dive in. I think it's a really interesting topic. They did Madness dirty as well. Yeah, we'll talk about that also. It's all interrelated. Owner of my local shop was saying ProTech helmets and pads are part of Dwindle 2 and are struggling and might disappear. Today it's all marketing. I love classic brands. All right, let's just get a few more likes and then we'll get into the topic. But yeah, hit me with anything you want me to address in the chat. But these are good. These are really good comments that kind of lead into everything. All right, 20 viewers, 20 likes. Let's go for it. 21 likes. Hell yeah. All right, first off, thank you everybody coming to the live stream and being true homies over here, being the local jits, the local homies. So if you're just getting here, I'll just kind of start from the beginning. So a little while ago, I made a stream about why Enjoi was going under. What's your favorite Dwindle brand? Probably Enjoi. And the situation is sad because I grew up skating those decks. Yes, I would love to hear your opinion on Madness. Those are my favorite boards. So I did that stream about Louis leaving and read like the Jankum article, and that really only showed like Louis's perspective on it, and I don't think he didn't really get into like the nitty gritty like behind like what was going on, and it really wasn't his place to anyways. But it left a lot of questions for people, us like wondering, okay, like so Enjoi just like died, and Louis saying all these things about like, oh, it wasn't fun anymore, and you know, just kind of saying that like he was over it. It was getting too stressful and not fun anymore. And so because of that, um, the dude, one of the dudes, he has a YouTube channel. His name's Tyler. He has a YouTube channel called Cannon Squad. You should check it out. But he's like a rad dad up in Idaho. He works for Stance Socks. He's the one that hooked up the Stance package a while back. He hit me up and he's like, hey, my homie RP works at Dwindle. He's one of the top dudes. So there's like the CEO, and then there's the marketing guy, and there's the sales guy. So like those are like the big three at Dwindle, or at Highline, which is the name of the actual company that owns like Dwindle. And RP is the marketing guy, I believe. Maybe it's I think he's the marketing guy. And so Tyler from Stance like hit me up and he's like, hey, I want to put you in touch with RP at Dwindle so you guys can talk about this whole Dwindle situation. So he put us in touch, and RP was super nice. I was filming a video and was late to our phone call, but rather than him just like blowing it off, he called me rather than me calling him, right? So super nice of him. We talked for like an hour and a half. And so the whole situation boils down to like Louis Barletta was saying, people weren't getting paid. And that people are like spinning that as in like, oh, corporate greed. Like there's people up top who just don't care about the riders. Wish skaters knew more about business. Sad to hear pros and filmers and workers weren't getting paid. Yeah, so that's what you would think. You would think that this was like just skaters not knowing how to run a business. But in the instance of Dwindle, they're owned by a publicly traded company. So you've got, you know, big money investors who do know what they're doing with money. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to the pandemic. And it comes down to it in a really weird way. So what RP was telling me is during the pandemic, people were stuck in their homes, right? So they bought, tons of people bought skateboards. They could not keep up with the demand. So, you know, everything at Dwindle was selling out, and not just at Dwindle, everywhere. You know, every brand that you can think of was selling skateboards just like crazy because people needed a hobby because they were, you know, isolated. And so because of that, they had to ramp up production to try and keep up with demand. So, you know, they ordered all of these boards to be made to try and meet all this demand. But then, you know, and things were good for, you know, a while, probably for a couple quarters. Things were literally it was the biggest boom in the skateboard industry that has ever happened, is what RP told me. Like, there's never been more money flowing into the skateboard industry than was happening during the pandemic. But the problem with it is it's not always going to be, you know, booming, right? It's going to level off. The Olympic hype also played into this problem. Yeah. And so there's just this huge boom, and people need a hobby they love, no posers. And so basically what happened was the boom was still going on. The demand was still like just going crazy. But what happened was all the barges full of boards were getting stuck in the ports because of the pandemic. So literally all their product was made and was just sitting stuck in a port in China. And so, what up, I'm DeFort? So the people wanted the boards, but they had no way of getting the boards to the distribution in Carlsbad or wherever it is in California. And so all these people are trying to, you know, buy boards that they're sold out, right? And so what happens is the pandemic delayed the shipment so bad. So imagine they were going to get their shipment, like their spring shipment, and their spring shipment gets delayed until their summer shipment's ready to come. And so essentially now, rather than having a sell-through cycle of, you know, they buy products from the factories, they sell them through, they buy more products, rather than having this revolving door, all of a sudden they have this point where they're not able to sell anything because it's stuck on boats in ports in China, and they can't get to it. And then all of a sudden they get both boats all at the same time. So now their warehouse is full of product, whether it be, Almost, Enjoi, all these brands, right? So it's not really anything that they could have foreseen because they didn't know that the, ports were going to be locked down. So, obviously, like, people are trying to, like, spin this as, oh, like, Enjoi or like Dwindle, they just, like, don't care about their riders or whatever. And it's like, I don't know. I'm just telling my side of what RP told me. So, I mean, there's probably two sides to every story. Like, I'll acknowledge that. But from RP's side, people are accusing Dwindle of, being sellouts. And they're accusing Dwindle of, like, they don't care about skateboarders. They're not paying their skaters. Like, they're really shady or whatever. But from what RP was telling me was they couldn't get the products to sell them. And so, oh, hey, it's the guy that doesn't want to talk to his fans. What do you mean? I talk to you guys all the time. This is exactly what the owner of my local said. Same scenario. You nailed it. Yeah, so essentially they're not able to sell their product. And like people that worked at Dwindle in the warehouse, people that had worked there for 20 years, they were getting let go. So it wasn't just the skaters that weren't getting paid. People top down through the whole organization, people were not able to keep up just because they weren't able to sell product. A lot of brands had this issue. However, Dwindle has slightly less excuse on this as they own the factory. They're top to bottom suppliers. Don't fan out on Local Joe. All right, Waffle Crew, I don't know what your deal is. I well, but no, that doesn't change anything. That doesn't change anything. Because it wasn't the production that was the issue. It was the transporting the products. So there's no way they could have foreseen it. So at the end of the day, they invested all of this money into products, hoping to get a return on their investment. But then they can't get their products from the factory to the distribution. So yeah, it's a logistics issue. Exactly, Colton. So it's, at the end of the day, like, if the people in the warehouse can't get paid, the people that actually are sending you your boards, how are they going to be able to pay riders, right? So it's a crappy situation all around. And RP was just saying that, like, you were saying you're so bummed when people come talk to you about your videos. So lame. Sorry they are hyped on you. Oh, when was I saying that? That sounds familiar. Waffle Crew. I don't know. Geez, sorry if I didn't talk to you, bro. You're throwing me off here. But basically what RP was saying, that, like, there's no hard feelings between Dwindle and between Louis. That, like, essentially Louis was saying that, Louis was tired of it not being fun anymore because it would, what up, Light Out Louisville? Basically saying it wasn't fun anymore because from what it seems like, riders were hitting up Louis saying, hey, I need to pay my bills. When am I getting my check? But there was no money. Like, all of the money was sitting in product, right? The product needs to sell in order to be able to cut everybody their checks. And so how are the riders going to get checks if the warehouse workers can't get their checks? Like, so the whole thing just kind of came falling down. All love for Local Joe. Protect him at all costs. Joe Pat Kelly. You're too nice, dude. You're too nice. Thank you. Thank you for 50. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for watching. We're up to, what, 56 people here. So, yeah, that's the deal. I imagine that, like, Tyson Bowerbank quitting Almost probably is similar situation. It's just, and And it wasn't just them. Just referring to what he said, it's so lame when people fan out on him when they're just talking about what he does. Yeah, I think you're kind of like a little bit misconstruing what I said. Waffle Crew. Yeah, so I appreciate when people come up and like say what up and say like they watch the videos or whatever. But I don't like it when people are saying like when they think of me as more than it like a human or something like that. I don't know. I'm just an average dude. I don't want to be treated differently. I just want to be treated like an average dude because that's what I am. I'm just an average dude talking to a camera. That doesn't change the fact that I'm just a normal dude. I don't like being like treated like weird or whatever. It's just like I don't like being put on a pedestal. That's like I don't know. I think it's like pressure that like people want you to be something. Like when I skate at the skate park and there's people there from out of town, I literally feel pressure to like skate good because I know that they've probably seen my videos and are like judging me. So I like I kind of like it. It makes me skate harder, but it's like sometimes you don't want to be like thinking about that. Sometimes you just want to skate. So Joe, you just come across as humble and down to earth. Salty waffles. Bro, but waffles, dog, like if I ever said something to piss you off, like I'm sorry, dude. Like I'm not out here trying to like act too cool. I'm just being honest that sometimes I don't like the attention. Like unfortunately that's my whole job is like attention or whatever. I just like skateboarding. Ideally I'd be a pro skater. I'm just not good enough. So this is what I have to do to get paid to skate. So I'll do it, but I don't ideally I would not make videos and all I would do is just like skateboard and like get paid to skate. Anyways, just don't like when people complain about their fans. Attention and expectations are rough. The attention economy sucks. What else? Let's move on. When did Local Jonah complain about his fans? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you like latched onto like a comment I made and maybe like made it a bigger deal than like it really was. But anyways, I'm grateful for you guys, dude. I'm grateful for all of you. Yo, Local Joe, the average Joe skater. That's me. So yeah, I guess that's my thing is like in skateboarding, we don't think of skateboarding as a business. Like it's so much more than a business. I don't like when people complain in chat. Do that somewhere else. Bro, everybody just chill out. Like he has a point. He has a point. It's lame when people like complain about their fans. He has a point. YouTube skaters are pro skaters, though. I mean, you are making money through skating. You made it. Not the same, obviously. LJ, do you have any thoughts on the skateboard industry in general? Well, that's kind of what I was getting to. He's not complaining if you are on. Let him be a normal person. Not everybody likes fans. You talked about it for 15 minutes in one of the last videos. Joe only gives his fans props. Waffles supposed to be sweet, not salty. Yeah, bro, waffles. I'm sorry it came across that way. That's not really like, I don't know, maybe if you were in my situation, you'd like understand a little bit more, but I don't want to come across like I'm taking you guys for granted at all. Joe did an entire live stream giving stuff away to his fans yesterday, bro. Relax, dip out of here. What up, Ricky? Everybody, Ricky. Ricky. Please do an impossible. Bro, Ricky. I've been trying, bro. I've been trying. I want to make that video. Everybody, Ricky in the chat. Ricky. Now, if we're talking about real famous people, Ricky Glauser, that's one handsome, famous guy, dude. But yeah, so back to the dwindle thing. I just think like we're so passionate about skateboarding and that skateboard brands are more than a company. Like who? Let's take another example. Like I'm a little sick, so I've been blowing my nose. So like, Kleenex, right? Nada just didn't like the way you explained it in the last vid. Should be hyped on the people you're hyped on. Bro, I'm hyped on you, Waffle Crew. Like, no cap. I appreciate that you watch and everybody that watches. Is Ricky also a regular dude too? No. Ricky deserves to be on that pedestal. Ricky's not human. He's Australian and he's another breed. He pisses excellence in the morning. Ricky, my girlfriend, oh boy. Okay, so let's get back to Kleenex. So I use Kleenex, but I'm not passionate about Kleenex. Dwindle got bought by Kryptonics for so little. I swear all the companies were only like 1.5 million. Are there any gangs around your local? I didn't know that they got bought by Kryptonics. They probably got bought by Highline. Like Highline is the company that bought Dwindle. I don't know if they own Kryptonics, but I know they do have price point boards. So like Dwindle sells high-end boards. See, I think they got sold again, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, maybe it's the same company. Maybe we're talking about the same company. These are how people latch on to skating with teams, videos, and everything. Brands push skating. Yeah, so it's like you get so about like the brands and everything that it's more than a product, right? Like nobody's out here just like so down for Kleenex that they'll never use any other kind of tissue. But that's kind of how crazy we get about skateboard brands. So it's hard for us to understand that like there's logistics behind all of this that if you're just getting here, the whole issue with Dwindle is during the pandemic there was this huge boom in skateboarding and they made all of these skateboards and those skateboards got stuck in China and they weren't able to get them to the US to actually distribute them. And so they got their spring and summer shipments, for example, smushed together. So they had 2 warehouses worth of product to try and sell. And so until they sold all that product, they had no money. So they went through, a 3-month period where they were living off of nothing, right? So they were having to let people go inside their own warehouses and let people go inside their own organization, people that they'd worked with for 20 years or, years, decades. And so people, you don't look at it like that. You just think Enjoi, like bag of suck. You think of like the marketing, the fun side of it, like the passion and the exciting parts of it. We don't think about it. Somebody has to make sure that the boards arrive on time, that the boards can even be sold in skate shops or sold online. Like there's so much logistics that goes into having a skateboard made and then sold to you as like the end consumer. And nobody really could have predicted what was going to happen with the pandemic, with the boom. And then all of a sudden, obviously every boom, you're going to have a peak and then it's going to dip down into a valley. But the issue is that demand was still going up. So obviously, like, that's the tricky thing about this. And this kills skateboarding companies all the time, is that skateboarding demand comes in waves. And so you need to learn to get like a sixth sense of when to boost up production, when to buy a bigger warehouse to ship skateboards out of, when to invest in the company and, grow the company, and then when to like push the brakes, right? It's that timing, because if demand is going down and you haven't already pushed the brakes, you're going to crash, right? You can't just constantly be accelerating up or you're going to run out of money. And so people are paid a lot of money in any company to make those decisions, right? Pat's penguin board on Powell was dope. Anyways, that's the trick. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But the thing is, I got to cut anybody that like lost a business during the pandemic. you kind of have to cut them a little bit more slack, because nobody knew what it was and how it was going to affect the supply chain. It was so like unforeseeable, right? And so in that way, it's like I have a lot of sympathy for both sides. Like, I have sympathies for the skaters who are already not making a lot of money. I mean, like, Enjoi is one of the sickest brands, but they weren't in a, like, they definitely weren't in like the most popular point of their, like, you know, cycle. They weren't like one of the most, like, the best selling brands out there, but they were solid, right? But, you know, their skaters still need to pay rent, right? Like, their skaters still have bills to pay. Their skaters are still stressing out because it's, you know, the end of the month and they don't have money to pay for a place to live or food to eat. And so that sucks. But then back at the organization, back at HQ, there's somebody that's having to fire somebody that has been working for the organization, you know, for 20 years. And so it's like, top to bottom, it's not like you know, people at the top are just doing fine, and they're just making everybody at the bottom suffer because they're greedy. That's not how it is at all. Like, the whole thing just sucked. What socks do you wear for skateboarding? I wear Nike or Stance socks. But I mean, that's essentially, like, I don't know. If you guys have questions or comments, I'd love to hear your guys' feedback now that you kind of have an insight into behind the scenes what was going on. And like I said, RP told me that he completely sympathizes with Louis Barletta for quitting, because he just said it's been so stressful to, you know, run this company. I think when they purchased Highline, or when Highline purchased Dwindle, it was like just going into the pandemic, and things were just like, things were good. They thought they made it. They thought that was like the best purchase they could have made. And then all of a sudden, boom, like, basically you can't sell boards anymore. Oh, but I just, you know, ordered a whole bunch. No, you can't sell them anymore. We're not going to let you ship your boards to the States. Like who could have nobody could have predicted the future in that situation. And so I really respect the fact that RP, you know, he's not blaming Louis for leaving. He's not blaming, you know, riders for leaving. Like, everybody's just trying to do their best to make it, you know, to survive and do what's best for them. And so it's just like, it's I don't feel like this is a situation where you can really point fingers and be like, it was you or it was them. Like, it just, it is what it is, you know what I mean? And I asked RP, like, okay, your whole team just quit. Local Joe, do you think Nike has contributed more than any other skateboard brand? To what? They had money. They could have paid them until shipments came through, and then they could make it back up. With what money? Another win for Made in USA. Yeah, I mean, that's a whole nother discussion. Well, that's the point. If they could have done that, they would have. Has Nike contributed to the skateboard industry? Yeah, they have. I wouldn't say more than any other company, but there's a pretty strong argument, I'd say, that Nike has like a symbiotic relationship with skateboarding. Yo, thanks for pulling up, Ricky. Have a good day, dude. W Ricky, everybody. W Ricky in the chat before the homie leaves. W Ricky. W Ricky. W Ricky. W Ricky. Ricky Glosser, the legend, dude. Best impossibles out there, dude. I need to get me some Ricky Glosser in impossibles. Ricky Glosser. Bravo is a huge company that Highline is just a small part of. They have money. Yeah, but that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Per my local shop owner, shops quit buying Enjoi boards. W. Ricky. Because of this debacle. They made great boards, have an amazing factory, and just shot themselves in the foot by tarnishing their image. Yeah. I mean, that's also a discussion to like that we can have is you know, how were they doing marketing wise and keeping up their image prior to all this, right? Because if this was, say, you know, Primitive is like the hottest brand right now. If Primitive went through this whole situation, like they probably would have been able to weather the storm because like they just sell so much. So the minute they get their boards, boom, we're printing money. But I'm not sure if it's quite like that with Dwindle, because they have lost a little bit of, I feel like, that core image. Do you think the future of space travel could bring flip tricks to other places in the galaxy than only on Earth? Yeah, for sure. Just saying, because they had boards made in China and not here in the U.S., their production got held up, couldn't sell. If all their money was tied up like that, then I don't know. It still feels like Dwindle's fault. It feels like even when they boomed, they weren't profiting. Yeah. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs, right? I don't work at Dwindle, so I'm just telling you secondhand. So RP told me his firsthand account. I'm telling you secondhand. I don't have as much context as, you know, RP would have, or, you know, Louis, or these other people. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll say this. How much did they send you, bud? They sent me some boards, but that was after the fact that I was already talking about this whole issue. So I mean, yeah, you factor that in. Now, you just did an unboxing. Acknowledge it. Well, yeah, that's what I'm said they were doing amazing during COVID. Lots of ups and downs. Yeah. So LD5634. You guys can factor this in. They did send me boards, right? They did send me trucks. They did send me pants, and they're down to work with the channel to do giveaways and stuff like that. No hate for free stuff. I would have took that box too. Looks really good, man. Awesome. So yeah, factor that in. Like you can say I'm completely biased because they're like hooking me up with stuff, but that's up to you guys, like, to decide if you think that I'm, I don't know, lying to you guys for a few boards. Like, I'll be straightforward. None of those boards are Twin Tails. So if you know me, yeah, I wouldn't promote it like this bad look. Okay. How does the FLDS community? I don't know, bro. Tensor coming out of Highline then too. Yeah. All right. Cool. LD5634. Local Joe is a man of faith. He isn't out here deceiving and lying to people. Well, yeah. I mean, it's just, you guys take it as you will. I mean, like, homie over here, I'm not sure if you're taking it as in, like, they bought me out to, like, say all these good things about them and, like, protect their image, or if you're saying, like, I'm being transparent and fair about the situation. But I mean, regardless, bro, there's gonna be people that take you the wrong way anyways. But it would be sick to see Louis on another board brand as a writer. Yeah, like sci-fi fantasy, that would be sick. But yeah. So I just want to reiterate again. I talked to RP with no, like, promise or whatever that I was gonna get anything out of it other than just, like, hear his side of the story. And from there, like, he never asked for me to make this video or to, like, talk about any of this. It's literally, like, for me to make content out of. So, but yeah, like, I did an unboxing, so I can see how it would look like, oh, bro, like, they're paying you off or whatever. But I mean, cool. Like, you can take it like that. If you think I'm that like shady, then I guess, yeah, take it that way. Like, I can't sit here and like try and convince you that I'm an honest person. I feel like all of us would have took the free product. Yeah, for sure. Well, I can tell you right now, I'm not getting paid anything. You're a great guy. Well, they can't pay their skaters, but they pay Joe. Makes total sense. He's just talking. He's not promoting their image, really. Yo, Grimy, nobody can have an opinion. Yeah, you guys, that's what I'm saying. Like, Waffle was saying his thing earlier, and it's like, it's not like he doesn't have a point, right? He can make his point, and we can choose to agree or disagree. But yeah, like, I'm not getting paid anything. I'll tell you that right now. There's no like formal agreement between me or Dwindle, and there's no talks of like any agreement. It's literally just he likes that I'm a nerd about product. So like in that live stream, if you didn't just do an unboxing, I wouldn't be thinking this way. Yeah, I totally understand like how you would take it that way, but Dwindle can't buy local Joe with some boards and trucks. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna just say. And like, I love twin tail boards, and when RP offered to send me boards, I was like, "Hey, do you guys have any twin tails?" And he's like, "I don't think we do." And I was like, "All right, well, I'll try your boards, but like, I'm not gonna stick with something that I don't like. So I'm gonna make some good content out of, Diego Najera's board is pretty crazy with the wheel wells and with the texture in the nose and the tail to like hold the wax. I think that's really cool. I used one board for a giveaway, and then let's think. Oh, I want to try the almost impact would be switch. Would be sick to try. Could Death Wish or Real buy you off? Probably. But if they were to, then I would just tell you. Like, I would just tell you, hey, I'm a part of Death Wish now. So Death Wish is the best thing that there is. Like, that's how it would go. Yeah, I don't think a few blind boards and Leticia Buffoni boards are going to sway anyone, in my opinion. Reels are too flat. Death Wish is too flat. Dwindle equals quit paying writers till they quit and start sending boxes to YouTubers. It's a good move. Bro, if you can do it better, start a company and run it better. That's all I got to say about that. Yeah, because you like their gear. Local Joe Death Wish part coming soon. Imagine. Almost impact decks are pretty great, says Femox. Yeah, well, like, you got now I can't say anything because you guys are gonna be like, oh, you're paid at this point. But like, one thing that Dwindle has going for it is single press decks. I talked about this before. Dwindle probably has such a massive backload of inventory they can spare a few things to send to people at this point. Yeah, that's the whole thing, is like they have a surplus of boards and whatnot. Anything that they can do to, get product moving, especially when they have a surplus of product. Just got here. What I missed? You missed a lot, dog. But yeah, the single press, like, Dwindle does only single press decks. So you get the same exact board shape every single time. So like, usually companies will press several decks at once. So the top deck in the stack is going to be pressed a little bit different than the bottom deck in the stack. And because of that, they will mark each board according to where it was in the stack. So that way, when pros get their boards, they can be like, okay, I want this shape and I want this board in the stack, because That way they're getting the exact same shape every time. But as an average person getting the board, you can buy the same board shape 2 different times and it's going to feel different because of where it was in the stack when it was getting pressed. So with Dwindle, the cool thing is that it's single pressed, so it's the same exact thing every single time. I like the second deck in the stack, just like P-Rod. I love the one press anti-hero. I have a 1 and 4 right now of the same board anti-hero. I bought them too happily. I don't support them anymore. You're kind of shilling, no? I don't even want to skate the 4. Yeah, so that's kind of the, I don't know. How do you know the number in the press? I think typically it says it on the board, but I don't skate any companies that list it on the board, but I'm pretty sure Girl and Chocolate do that. But yeah, it says on the top ply. Endangered, not extinct. Yeah. So that was the other point that RP made, is I was like, all right, so is Enjoi like over? And RP just said that, like, he sent me that graphic, the endangered not extinct thing, and was like, well, it's really ultimately up to people. If there's demand for Enjoi as a brand, they'll, you know, if they can sell through some product and start adding some riders and rebuilding a team, then, you know, Enjoi's gonna survive and not go extinct. So I thought that was clever. I thought that was clever. Only you can save the panda. Single press is great, just need more shape info from everyone. The problem getting a number 1 press is you hardly ever can. Most of the ones are safe for pros, and the 3s and 4s go to us. It's nonsense, but I'm tired of skating flat boards. I bet he did. I think only Deluxe numbers their presses and labels it on boards. Just a number and permanent marker. I've really never noticed this. No, they're not. Local Joe, do you consider buying a stake in any board company? No. 9 more likes and I'll drop some cash, dudes. Let's get there. 9 more likes. What's significant about 9 more likes, Pat? What's significant about 9 more likes? I don't think I'd ever consider buying stake in a board company unless it was my own, and unless I was promoting it through like this channel. So I've got oh, get to 60. I got you. Get to 60. Nice even number. Yeah, no, I've got an idea for a board shape that I want to make. Yeah, for Friday skateboards. Let's go. Smash the like button, crew. Thank you, Pat. Pat's out here just pouring gas on the flame. I appreciate you, Pat. 9 dislikes and I'll send you money. Bro, you wouldn't even. What trick are you working on right now? I'm working on nollie flips and front crooks and I want to do cab flips, full cab flips. LD, I'll give you 9 dislikes and you can pay me. Ha! Deal? Deal. Bro, that's so funny. Dude, the chat's out of control today, dude. I feel like we've it's normally a little bit more I don't know. People are a little testy today. Tried a sour deck, pretty steep concave, was stoked. What's a board with steep concave? Chat going off. That's what I'm saying. I feel like y'all are just antagonizing each other. We're very passionate about Dwindle, apparently. Yeah, like, who knew? Who knew? You guys were so out of control about Dwindle. Gloves are off today, Pat. Dude, thank you. Thank you for 51 likes and Pat single-handedly just getting us to 65. I don't know if anybody else donated at all, but Pat, man, appreciate you, dog. Really nice. FA boards are trash. I agree. Maybe if I skated one for the full duration, but I could not handle that shape. That nose that everybody likes, the big shovel nose with the steep nose, could not do it. Yeah, Utah weather's crazy today. Crazy. I took my son to the park right before this. What up, Joe? Hyped to hear everything about Enjoi. Yeah, they're trash, super steep. Everybody put W Cannon. Cannon Squad's the guy that linked me up with RP. He's the one that works at Stance. And he has a YouTube channel. Everybody, W Cannon. W Cannon, W Cannon, W Cannon. Yeah. Tyler's looking out for me, so I really appreciate him hooking it up. You ride the mag lights yet, LJ? No, I haven't. Sour boards have different concaves, steep, medium ones. What's your favorite part from Bag of Suck? It's been a while since I've watched it. But the nollie back heel from Jerry Sue stands out. But that's one that I need to like go back and watch. I've watched through it once. But it's like there's so many skate videos to watch. And if you weren't at that time, I was fully like all about soccer. I was convinced I was going to be a professional soccer player. So at that point I wasn't skating. So it's hard to go back and like catch up on everything you missed when you took a break from skating. Anyways, it's just unfortunate. That's why you just don't stop. Chad Skate Across America is wild. I've been watching that too. Pat, are you following Chad Caruso Skate Across America? I watched one of his videos, but I watched one. And is he starting on the West Coast and going back to the East Coast? He must be. Louis was the last thread of the original Enjoi crew. It's over for what Enjoi was supposed to be. Will never be the same. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that, like, RP and people at, like, Dwindle are trying to, like, hold on to hope. But I agree. It's pretty rough. Like, I don't know how you bounce back after your whole team just up and left. And like they didn't up and leave for no reason. Like they up and left for a good reason. So I feel like it's pretty rough that like seeing if Enjoi can make a comeback. Like I would love to see it. Gotta go, Joe. Love all the vids. Keep grinding. Thanks. I would love to see Enjoi make a comeback because I think they're a really like good brand. Like I don't know. I like it, but you don't unless you send boxes to YouTubers, man. Duh. Yeah, that's all you gotta do. But I believe in RP. That dude is the man and super well respected in the skate. He can work miracles. Yeah, I hope so, man. I mean, you know RP better than I do. But yeah, it's funny. RP actually was a skate photographer at some point, and there's a guy here locally named James Atkin who used to be, you know, getting covers in magazines and stuff back in the day, and RP shot him doing a switch frontside flip down the 3 block here locally. There's a big, maybe it's a 4 block, 3 or 4 block, but yeah, small world. But yeah, I hope he can turn it around. I don't know, that'll be interesting to see. Kind of what, I don't know, how do you turn it around at this point? We'll see. But I'm rooting for him. That's for sure. I really like Enjoi's sick, man. I feel like it's iconic, and I would love to see them make a turnaround. What dream team would you want for Enjoy's comeback? Interesting. Who would you guys want to see on a comeback team for Enjoy? I don't know. You'd have. I feel like Trevor Colden. Who's Trevor Colden skating for right now? Yeah, Trevor Colden. I love Trevor. Ricky. I feel like Ricky honestly fits Enjoy though, because that's the thing is, I feel like Enjoy's like real quirky. Mark Johnson, that would be crazy. Mark Johnson goes back. The LBC channel with videos with clothing. Mark Gonzalez name on it. Gonz on it. Is this legit? Local Joe. The LBC channel with videos with clothing with Mark Gonzalez name on it and Gon's name on it. Is this legit? I don't know what you're referring to. Rodney Mullen. Is it true that Enjoy might shut down? Yeah. I mean, that's Caswell Berry. Just bring back all the OGs. Get Jerry Sue to quit Sci-Fi Fantasy. Just quit his own business and come back and join Enjoy. I mean, that's the weird part of it is it's like, would they have funding to be able to get people back, you know? But yeah, I feel like Enjoy kind of gifted hater on Enjoy. That would be crazy. He's already on Sci-Fi, so just turn back the time to the 2000s. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really follow the type of skater that would fit at Enjoy. Caswell is on the team. Lee Barletta. You guys are just naming like OGs. Yeah, I feel like you gotta get quirky skaters. It's almost like the Crux Trucks team. They're all just like a little bit like goofy. They're not. It's like the antithesis to Primitive almost. And I am just basic and love watching Primitive. Nora. Oh, Nora would be sick on Enjoy. I bet Samaria would be bummed. Caswell was on till this happened. Oh, I didn't know that. I figured he was long gone. Mango should be on. Jimmy Carlin. At least there's Crux and Fancy Lad. Yeah, it's definitely its own vibe. Like it's that quirky vibe, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm just kind of basic. I just like seeing really insane skating. But specifically like very technical skating, like structured skating. And yeah, I like my favorite skaters are like P-Rod, Jamie Foy, and Ashad Ware. So I feel like that tells you everything you need to know. I just love people that are ridiculously skilled. Maybe not the most creative, but ridiculously skilled. Frankie Villani? No, don't touch Frankie, dude. Frankie's the only one at Primitive that's creative. He's the only one. Speaking about Primitive, I was in California last week and I skated a solo morning session for 2 hours with Dylan Jabe, whole park to ourselves. Dude is a monster. Super nice and humble. Pat, what oh yeah, you went to SD. Were you at Poods? Where were you at, Pat? That's crazy. That's crazy. I would love to watch Dylan Jabe just do his thing. Yeah, Poods. Yes, Frankie should be on Crux. Why? Why should Frankie be on Crux? What does Frankie skate right now? Independent? I don't know. I feel like he's probably going to make more money where he's at right now. How long have you been skating? He skated switch 80% of the morning and fell like 3 times. It's nuts. So I started skating when I was like 7 years old. My dad gave me a skateboard. And then I rode around on it till I was about 10. Then I started trying to learn tricks. And then I got to the point where I could do like kick flips, fakie flips, variant flips, 180s, maybe a full cab. do like slappy nose slides. So not anything crazy. But when I was like 13, 14, I decided that I was going to like dedicate myself to soccer and become a professional soccer player. And I was just really naive. And anyway, so I didn't skate. I when I was like a junior in high school, I got a skateboard again. And then I rolled my ankle, kept flipping down like a two-stair or something. And it like I sprained it like pretty bad, and it affected soccer. Like when I would kick the soccer ball, and even to this day, if I kick it, I can like feel the tendons that were damaged when I rolled it. So from there, like I stopped completely, and then got back into it when I was like 22, and soccer was completely out of the picture. And since then, I skated, pretty solid for a few years, and then took a break. And then I was getting back into it, and you guys have probably heard me say this. I feel like I tell this story like every stream, but the whole reason I started a YouTube channel was because I wanted to ensure that I wouldn't stop again. Yeah, if I had just started skating a few years ago, that would be nuts. But no, I feel like I have a pretty like, because I've been on a skateboard from such a young age, I feel like I'm pretty comfortable on my skateboard, but I'm not the best. You know what I mean? I'm just pretty average. I wish I was better. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like for how young I started, had I stuck with it, I mean, I should be a lot better than I am. But I'm just trying to make the best out of the time that I have left. You know what I mean? So that's what the whole channel is about. Me trying to get as good as I can before I get too old. And the older you get, the harder it is to, get in the groove. And right now I'm been in the groove for a couple years now, consistently skating. And so I think if I just consistently skate for the next 10 years, I'll be old and I'll hopefully be cracked at skating. And then I'll golf or something. I don't know. But, all right, guys. Me too. I cruised around for a year and came back to tricks. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's how it is for a lot of people. Give yourself some credit every time I've skated with you. You are super consistent with what you got. Joe's cracked. I'm not cracked, bro. You're right. I'm consistent. We have a sponsored 55-year-old here in my local, and he rips harder than anyone. That's nuts. 55, sick. Yeah, I'm obsessed with board control. So consistency is kind of my thing. I might not have the biggest bag of tricks, but I try to stay in control. Quit for 12 years and started back up last fall. Yeah, I feel like that's how a lot of people relate to my channel. Is it's like obvious that we've been around it, but took a big break, and you're older, and you're like, oh, I want to feel like I did when I was a kid skating. So I don't know. I feel like that's the vibe. But all right, guys, I'm gonna end this. Thank you. Kudos for skating and trying to save Enjoi, I guess. You have a legit bag of tricks, Joe. He loved the montage short you put out the other day, up the Euro. Thank you. Yeah, big love to everybody. I just want to make it clear that I do appreciate all of you guys. Freaking interesting stream. Got some real discussion going, different points of view and whatnot. It was good. And but yeah, I don't ever want you guys to feel like I take you for granted. I never was the type of person that like wanted all this attention. I just wanted to skateboard. And unfortunately, I'm so bad at skateboarding. The only way to continue skateboarding is to do it this way. So I'm still trying to like embrace the fact that I have to like build this community, and like it sounds so like vain to say like be a public figure or whatever, but essentially like that's what it is on a really small scale. Never really wanted that. At least not for this. I would have loved to have been that for like being good at skateboarding, but I'm not good enough. So here we are. We'll just keep watching the pros and trying to get better. But yeah, appreciate everybody, especially you, Pat, for the 65 in donations today. Unreal. Really, really appreciate the donations. Pat, the 70. I know you start to get uncomfortable. Yeah, it's uncomfortable when you're like people. I've got people watching me, 38 people. So that's like a classroom of people that are just like listening to what I have to say. And I don't know. There's some pressure. But okay, love you.